have seen that dramatic video of hundreds of birds literally falling from the sky into a neighborhood. What on earth was going on?
Did you know all of these things have fallen from the sky to people at some point? Some strange rain events are caused by the weather, but others have been a mystery for hundreds of years, leaving us scratching our heads in confusion. Galoshes and umbrellas are great for protecting you from rain, snow, and hail, but what about spiders, satellites, or even raw mystery meat that fall from the sky? You won't believe it, but all of these things have fallen from the sky to people at some point. Some strange rain events are caused by the weather, but others have been a mystery for hundreds of years, leaving us scratching our heads in confusion. Imagine taking a stroll in the park on a sunny afternoon when all of a sudden you see strange items falling from the sky. Although it doesn't happen very often, history is full of examples of things falling from the sky and scaring people. If you were out for a walk and saw strange things falling from the sky, what would you do? Check out the 20 scariest things that have fallen from the sky with us as we break them down. Number 20. Blood rain in Spain. A truly fascinating event took place in the beautiful city of Zamora, which is set in the beautiful landscapes of northwestern Spain. The beautiful city of this charming city was the site of a famous weather event called blood rain. During this strange event, the rain turned an amazing shade of red, which both amazed and confused the people of Zamora. The most amazing show of this strange event happened in the city's fountains, where the normally clear water turned a deep, mesmerizing red color. At first, no one knew what caused this amazing change, which only made people in the city more amazed and curious. Later studies, on the other hand, slowly solved the mystery. The reddish discoloration was caused by tiny algae, which are known to release a red pigment when they are stressed. It's interesting that this freshwater plant life wasn't native to the Zamora area or any of the nearby bodies of water. They came to the conclusion that the algae must have taken a long flight before falling to Earth as rain and hitting the city. Scientists looked at wind patterns and other weather data in great detail, but they still couldn't figure out where the algae came from. The fact that scientists couldn't figure out where the plant came from added another layer of mystery to the already interesting blood rain. Scientists and locals were both amazed by the strange path these tiny algae took through the atmosphere. Number 19. Mystery meat. In a small field in Bath County, Kentucky, on the terrible March 3, 1876, two people who weren't expecting anything strange to happen caught their attention. As soon as the mysterious rain fell from the sky, covering the earth with an unexpected shower of unknown meat, what had started out as a normal day quickly turned into an amazing show. This event, which became known as the Kentucky Meat Shower, happened so quickly that people who saw it were both confused and very interested. When two men saw this amazing event, they were completely confused and couldn't figure out where the strange meat came from. This led to a lot of talk and interest among the locals. Some people thought the meat looked like it could have been from a sheep or deer, while others thought it might have been bear meat, though these claims were still not proven. So odd was the event that it left many people scratching their heads and wondering how something so strange could have happened. As time went on, experts tried to figure out what was going on with the Kentucky Meat Shower. There were many ideas, and one was that the meat-like material might have been made by blue-green algae, which dries into a jelly-like texture when it rains. Some people thought that the meat might have been regurgitated by ravens instead, which added another layer of mystery to the already confusing event. Even though there have been many theories and guesses, the real reason for the Kentucky Meat Shower is still unknown. Regardless, this event has become a memorable and mysterious one that continues to captivate the minds of all who hear its story. Number 18. Birds in Arkansas. In 2010, on the night before New Year's Day, the Arkansas town of Beebe was in the middle of a very strange and confusing event. Thousands of birds, including European starlings, common grackles, brown-headed cowbirds, red-winged blackbirds, and others, fell from the sky over a small area of about 1 square mile. During a strangely still moment, a whirling mass of blackbirds fell to the ground, making a sight that had never been seen before. The townspeople were shocked and deeply interested in this mysterious event that killed a lot of birds. The event quickly got a lot of attention from the media and led to a lot of scientific research trying to figure out what caused this strange action. Karen Rowe, a spokeswoman for the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission, said she thought the birds might have dropped to lower levels to try to get away from the loud fireworks during the New Year's Eve celebrations. She said that this behavior might have accidentally caused them to hit different items, killing them too soon. However, despite these guesses, the exact cause of this mass bird death event is still being studied and debated by scientists. People in Arkansas were deeply affected by what happened, and people all over the world were also affected by it, which added to the mystery of this strange event. Number 17. Strange purple substance. Picture waking up one morning to find that your whole house is covered in a strange material. That's exactly what happened in New York not long ago. People in Cheektowaga, New York, were shocked when they woke up to find a strange purple material all over their homes, decks, driveways, and cars. People like Lynn Page and Mike Julio quickly called 7 Eyewitness News because they were worried about the possible health effects. They thought that the material might have come from an airplane's toilet. Even though it sounds crazy, these kinds of things could happen, especially since their house is close to flight lines that lead to Buffalo Niagara International Airport. Helen Tusa, a spokesperson for the Niagara Frontier Transportation Authority, quickly shot this idea down, making it clear that planes are not allowed to dump toilet paper while they're in the air. She explained that similar things happen a lot when groups of birds eat fruits that are high in pigments. The Erie County Department of Health backed up this account by assuring people that the purple substance could be cleaned safely by following normal safety rules. In the end, the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation came up with a clear answer. The purple droplets were caused by big groups of glossy birds migrating during the season. The unique purple color was thought to come from the wild grapes and foods they ate. Many experts told the homes that the substance did not seem to be harmful to their health, even though some residents were worried at first. That was because it was thought to be a natural event related to bird movement. Number 16. Chelyabinsk meteorite. In Chelyabinsk, Russia, on February 15, 2013, a huge rock, commonly called a fireball, broke through Earth's atmosphere. This was a very important event. This space visitor, which was about 60 feet across and weighed an amazing 11,000 tons, met its tragic end when it exploded in a brilliant display of energy over the Chelyabinsk Oblast region. The explosion caused a bright flash and a very hot cloud of gas and dust, along with many smaller meteorite pieces. Astronomers had not seen the asteroid because it was so close to the sun and blocked their view. This made the event even more amazing. The explosion's shockwave caused widespread destruction, affecting over 7,200 houses and causing huge financial losses of $33 million. There were also a lot of injuries from the blast. 1,491 people needed medical help. Most of these injuries were caused by flying glass that was thrown by the impact. This event had big effects because it was the biggest natural object to enter Earth's atmosphere since the Tunguska event in 1908, and because it showed how dangerous near-Earth objects can be. After the event, scientists were able to get 53 samples from a hole in the ice of Lake Chebarkul that was almost 20 feet wide. The hole is thought to have been caused by a single meteorite piece impact. Number 15. Golf balls. Not only did it hail in Punta Gorda, Florida in 1969, but it also rained golf balls. Over a dozen of these round objects suddenly fell from the sky, leaving people in the area confused and scratching their heads. Even more confusing for the locals was the fact that none of the nearby golf clubs had reported any lost or stolen golf balls. Where did they come from then? The people in the town came up with a lot of ideas and thoughts about this mystery. Many people thought that a waterspout formed over a nearby golf course pond, and sucked up all the lost golf balls before letting them fall back to Earth in a strange outcome. Some people said they saw the golf balls fall from the sky in perfect shape, like they had just been picked up from the green. Others said they found them buried in the ground, leaving behind small impact holes. The event quickly became the talk of the town, attracting interested onlookers and sparking arguments between meteorologists and people who believe in conspiracies. Still, the secret of the golf ball rain of Punta Gorda has not been solved. This adds another layer of mystery to Florida's already strange weather patterns. Number 14. Spiders on Australia. Many Australians have been interested in spider rain, an interesting and sometimes shocking event that happens in Australia for years. There are millions of tiny spiders that look like they are falling from the sky. This has been seen all over the country, but mostly in South Australia. It is not usually dangerous for people to be around these spiders because they are not poisonous, but seeing them fall from the sky with their fine silk threads can be very scary. This show is caused by a spider action called ballooning, which is a way for spiders, especially young ones, to move. Spiders do this by climbing up high in plants and letting out pieces of silk that blow away in the wind. For this reason, they can be taken away, drifting through the air for long distances. Spiders often use this way to get from one place to another, but what makes this event unique is the huge number of spiders that are using it at the same time. It's not entirely clear why so many spiders decide to balloon at the same time, but it's thought that certain weather or wind conditions may cause them all to move at the same time. Number 13. Locusts. Recently, East Africa was hit by a terrible crisis. Swarms of desert locusts destroyed crops and fields in 7 countries. The swarms were so big that they looked like cities and caused chaos wherever they went. Over the past year and a half, long periods of rain, including rare storms, have led to this outbreak. There were a lot of locusts in the Arabian Peninsula because of thunderstorms, which caused 3 generations of fast breeding. Then these groups moved to East Africa, where good conditions helped them spread even more. The food security in the whole area is in grave danger because of this locust epidemic. In 2019, unusually heavy and broad evening rains, along with a rare late-season cyclone, made the perfect conditions for the locusts to breed. Their numbers had grown by an amazing 400 times by June 2020. This infestation has terrible effects. It makes food insecurity worse in an area where over 13 million people already have severe shortages and another 20 million are on the verge of it. Concerns have been made about how climate change might affect the number and severity of locust outbreaks because of the Indian Ocean dipole's strange weather patterns. Aid groups, like the Food and Agriculture Organization, are working hard to deal with the problem by helping communities that have been affected and funding operations to get rid of pests. Even though the problem is very big, everyone is working together to lessen the terrible effects of this locust invasion. Number 12. The Tunguska Asteroid. On June 30th, 1908, an asteroid hit the Tunguska region near the Podkamennaya Tunguska River in what is now Krasnoyarsk Krai, Russia. It is one of the most famous events in the history of astronomy. The catastrophe began with the explosion of a rocky asteroid that was thought to be between 164 and 200 feet across. The explosion, called an air burst, happened as the asteroid hurtled toward Earth from the southeast to the east at an incredible speed of about 60,000 miles per hour. It went off between 3.1 and 6.2 miles above the Earth's surface. What makes this event even more amazing is that it is the biggest impact event ever recorded in Earth's history. Over an area of 830 square miles, the blast destroyed about 80 million trees with no mercy. Some people think that at least 3 people died, but the blast from the explosion was so strong that it knocked people off their feet and broke windows hundreds of miles away. Earth's seismic stations all over Eurasia picked up on the explosion, and airwaves from it were picked up in places as far away as Germany, Denmark, Croatia, and the UK. That one event will always be remembered as proof of the huge power and unpredictability of celestial events, marking a turning point in both scientific research and human history. Number 11. Boiled bat. In January 2018, Australia, which is known for its unique and interesting wildlife, got a lot of attention when the world was shocked by an event called boiled bat rain. Campbelltown is in the state of New South Wales. During a terrible heat wave, people there were forced to deal with a strange and tragic scenario. The temperature rose to 111.5 degrees Fahrenheit, which was so hot that even the tough bats in the area could not stand it. The bats started to get heat stress as the intense heat kept going on, which made them fall from the trees in distress. This heartbreaking scene happened as the bodies of more than 200 bats that had died from the high heat were dumped all over the ground. The local community and wildlife officials had to deal with the terrible effects of this event right away. Volunteers and animal rescue teams worked hard to help any bats that were still alive and get the dead ones out of public places safely. The event started important conversations about how climate change and extreme weather affect wildlife populations in big ways. It got a lot of attention from media around the world and brought to light the serious problems and issues animals are facing because of how quickly the climate is changing. Number 10. Shark in Southern California. An amazing thing happened at the San Juan Hills Golf Club in Southern California. A small leopard shark fell from the sky and landed in a strange place. A careful CO marshal who was on duty at the time was the first person to notice this strange event. The marshal was completely shocked to find the shark lying on the ground, which is not at all where it normally lives in the ocean. Several things about this event were shocking. To begin, the idea of a shark falling from the sky is very uncommon and not something that happens every day. Everyone was shocked and couldn't believe what they saw. Second, what made things even stranger was that the shark was still alive when it was found. People normally think that falling from such heights would kill you, but this tough shark defied the chances and lived through it. After looking into it, some people thought that a bird had taken the shark from the water and dropped it on the golf course. This unusual event, called a rain of animals, has been described in many countries throughout history. This happens when small animals in the water, like frogs, fish, or in this case a shark, are carried by water currents and land on land. The CO marshal should be praised for how quickly he thought and acted. Because the marshal knew how important it was to act quickly, they put the shark in a bucket of salt water and sailed it to the ocean, where they safely released it back into its natural environment. Such amazing events are a powerful reminder of how complicated nature is and how strong the people who live in it are. Number 9. Oakville Blob Brain. It all started on a normal day in Oakville when strange blobs of an unknown material started falling from the sky. These piles that looked like jelly-covered surfaces, getting everyone's attention and making people curious and confused all over the community. People who saw the strange event quickly took pictures and videos and shared them on social media in an effort to figure out what it was. Scientists and meteorologists acted quickly to look into the strange event, using cutting-edge methods to examine samples of the unknown material. At first, it looked like the blobs might be made of particles in the air, possibly caused by strange weather patterns or air currents. But as experts dug deeper, different ideas started to form, ranging from natural changes in the atmosphere to the idea of airborne algae or microscopic organisms. The Oakville blob quickly became a hot topic of conversation, with people talking and guessing about it all the time. The scientific community has worked hard to answer the mystery, but it has not been solved yet. Both locals and scientists are still interested in it. We still don't understand this strange and interesting puzzle, which makes us think about the mysteries of the sky and the secrets it might hold. Number 8. Tri-State Mud Fall. On April 11, 1903, something strange happened that made people in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, and Pennsylvania scratch their heads. It all started with a huge dust storm in Illinois. The storm sent huge clouds of dust across the sky to the eastern United States. The mystery grew when these dirty clouds met with rain clouds over those states, causing an unexpected event that is now known as the Tri-State Mudfall. This short event caused a lot of noise because no one had ever seen anything like it before. Because the dust storm that started in Illinois was so big, it caused mud to fall from several hundred miles away. People going about their daily lives were suddenly sprayed with mud that they didn't expect. People who were outside got covered in mud, and clothes that were left out to dry got stained by the sudden rain. The Tri-State Mudfall was a shocking and one-of-a-kind event that served as a stark reminder of how unpredictable nature events can be and how far they can reach. The fact that Mother Nature always has a few shocks planned was brought to light, showing how amazing, powerful, and unpredictable nature is. Number 7. Space junk. There is a lot of man-made debris around Earth that will finally fall back into the atmosphere. This happens when satellites, rockets, or other space junk get out of their orbit and start falling toward Earth because of its gravity. When this space junk comes back into contact with Earth's atmosphere, it usually breaks up into smaller pieces. Most of the time, these pieces burn up before they hit the ground, so they don't pose much of a threat to us. But every once in a while, bigger things come crashing down. The controlled descent of China's Tiangong-1 prototype space station back into Earth's atmosphere in March 2018 made news. Seeing this event made me realize how hard it is to safely get rid of old spaceships and how important it is to carefully plan controlled re-entries to keep people from getting hurt. Even though some news stories make it sound scary, most space junk ends up in fields, oceans, or other places where no one lives. Still, space agencies and groups around the world are very careful to keep an eye on and track space junk to make sure that future space missions are safe. Number 6. Frogs in Serbia. In the year 2005, a town in Serbia bore witness to an astonishing event that left its residents utterly flabbergasted. Thousands of frogs, creatures typically found in ponds and wetlands, were observed falling from the sky. This bizarre phenomenon, often referred to as a rain of animals, while rare, is not entirely unheard of. It occurs when severe weather conditions such as waterspouts or strong winds manage to lift lightweight creatures like frogs into the atmosphere. Once airborne, these creatures can travel significant distances before eventually descending back to the ground, often during a rain shower. The incident in the town was remarkable for several reasons. Firstly, the sight of frogs descending from the sky in such large numbers is an exceedingly rare occurrence, not something witnessed every day. The sheer magnitude of the event left the town's residents completely astonished. Secondly, the fact that these frogs were swept up from their natural habitats and deposited over a town several miles away only added to the incredulity. Imagine being an aquatic creature suddenly transported to a completely different location. Lastly, the visual spectacle of thousands of frogs raining down on the town is something that would be etched into memory. The residents of the town couldn't believe their eyes as they witnessed this extraordinary event unfold before them. It's a story that they will surely be recounting for years to come, a testament to the awe-inspiring and unpredictable wonders of the natural world. Now it's time for the user pick for today. In the small town of Willow Creek, which was tucked deep in the forest, there was a story that only the locals knew about horrific things that fell from the sky. The scary and mysterious story in this collection was told from one generation to the next. Strange things began to happen one fateful night as the full moon cast its magical light over the town. People in the area said they could hear scary sounds coming from the sky, like dogs howling and witches laughing. That being said, the town wasn't truly scared until things started falling from the sky. First, there was a flood of spiders. Their 8-legged bodies fell from the sky like a scary nightmare. People panicked and ran for cover, trying desperately to avoid the huge group of moving bugs that had come into town. But that wasn't the worst part. Next came a flood of ghostly shadows, their wispy shapes moving back and forth in the dark sky. Others were frozen with fear when they saw these supernatural beings. while others said they saw the faces of lost loved ones among the ghosts. That wasn't scary enough. The final blow was a shower of blood-red rose petals that were stained with the blood of people who were never found. People in the town had a lot of open questions during the chaos and fear. What do you think caused these scary things to happen in Willow Creek? Would you have done something if you were caught in the spider storm? What do you find most interesting about these 20 scary things that fell from the sky? Number 5. Live lizard fall from sky. A strange and unexpected natural event happened in Florida that made people shocked. Lizards seemed to fall from the sky. This strange event, which is sometimes called lizard rain, confused both locals and experts. A new study sheds light on the famous falling lizards in Florida and suggests that they may be getting used to cooler weather. How it works. Some types of lizards, like the Florida green anole, hide in trees when it gets cold outside. During quick drops in temperature, these lizards may become sleepy and lose their balance, falling to the ground in a state similar to being drunk from the cold. Because of this behavior, a lot of lizards may fall from the trees at once, making for a strange sight that could scare anyone, especially people who aren't used to seeing it. Even though this doesn't only happen in Florida, the state's diverse environment and large lizard population make it stand out more. As scientists try to figure out more about this strange behavior, most Floridians have grown used to seeing lizards that look like they are falling from the sky sometimes when the weather is right. But people who are still not familiar with it might be in for a big treat when winter comes around. Number 4. Green explosion over Tasmanian Sea. A very strange thing happened over the Tasman Sea on the night of November 18, 2020. While it was still dark outside, a beautiful green falling star shone brightly across the sky. The photography skills of the research vessel Investigator, which is run by CSIRO, Australia's national science body, made the view unbelievable. At 9:21 p.m. local time in Tasmania, this amazing show happened. As the falling star came down from space, it slowly broke apart as it hit Earth's atmosphere. But before it went away, it put on a stunning visual show for everyone to see. The event was seen by John Hooper, who was the CSIRO voyage manager on the Investigator. He said that the star was truly amazing in terms of its size and brightness. It's truly amazing to think about seeing a celestial rock turn into a bright star as it travels through the universe. The meteor was only seen on black and white video, but people who saw it in real life said that its bright flash looked bright green. This added another level of beauty to its trip through heaven, making it even more stunning to see. Number 3. Money, money, money. Compared to the strange events where meat, spiders, fish, and frogs fell from the sky, this might be the most welcome kind of rain ever reported. You won't believe how many times it will happen. Something really strange happened in Kuwait City in 2015. Crazy amounts of 2 to 3 million UAE dirhams, which are about $544,000 to $817,000 in bills, fell from the sky in just a few minutes. Could you picture the scene? People pulled their cars over in the middle of the street, jumped out, and ran to get the money like they were on the final round of the Crystal Maze. And there's another amazing event that happened in Indianapolis in 2017. While working on a building, an electrician saw $200 bills flying off the roof. No one could figure out where the money came from in either case. But does it matter? There is a saying that goes, finders keepers. You feel like you found a gold chest in the middle of your day. What person wouldn't want to be a part of a fortune like that? It's the stuff that dreams are made of, falling from the sky. Number 2. Rainbow meteorite in Costa. Costa Rica saw something truly amazing happen on the evening of April 23, 2019. People in villages Pala and Aue Zarcas saw an amazing sight. A meteorite, also called a fireball, racing across the sky and falling to the ground in bright colors that looked like a rainbow. Pieces of the fireball were spread out all over the area, making it look like a scene from a movie. But this event wasn't just a sight to behold. it was also very important for science. It turned out that the fireball, which was later named Aue Zarkas, was a piece of an asteroid that is 4,560 million years old. Scientists were thrilled with the findings because it gave them a unique chance to study something from the early days of the solar system. People thought that the fireball might have had complex carbon compounds in it, like the meteor that burst over Murchison, Australia in 1969. It was found that asteroid had amino acids in it, which are the building blocks of proteins. Researchers were hopeful that Aue Zarkas could lead to similar important findings. Some people who live in Aue Zarkas said that a meteorite hit their roof and a rock went through it. Afterward, they found a warm rock on the floor. After a year of careful study, scientists found that the rock was a carbonaceous chondrite, which is a type of meteorite that is high in carbon and contains amino acids and complex biological molecules. This amazing event not only captivated the locals, but it also revealed important facts about how our solar system came to be. Number 1. Russian gold fall from the sky. A Russian cargo plane had an unexpected problem as it took off from Yakutsk Airport in Siberia. About 200 bars of gold, a valuable metal, were dropped on the runway by mistake. Something went wrong while the gold was being moved from the faraway Chukotka area. The plane's cargo doors opened without warning, causing the valuable goods to fall out of their place. The shifting of the load during the plane's rise was blamed for this accident. It didn't take long for the Russian investigating committee to say that the cargo doors were broken because the precious metals weren't properly secured before the trip. So the cargo plane had to go back to the airport to pick up the gold bars that were spread. Even though these kinds of things don't happen very often, they do happen. Problems like not securing goods properly, technical issues, or problems that come up out of the blue during the flight can make things worse. That's why airlines and flight authorities stress how important it is to follow strict safety rules to avoid problems like this. Along with the chance of losing a lot of money, there's also the chance that big things will fall from the sky. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next episode.